Money, money,
Money, money, money.
Hi, I'm Michael Redman.
And I'm Kathryn Redman.
And this is a half a bubble out autocomplete interview.
Today's topic is business and money.
Okay.
Money, money.
Is my husband...
No, not my husband, my business.
Oh, my business. My glasses. It's not close.
Are my glasses viable?
Is my husband viable?
My husband is viable. Is his business viable? Is my business viable? That is the actual question of the day. Is my business viable?
Is my business viable? Very, very good question.
Very good question.
And I wish more people asked that question before they started their business. The answer is, I don't know. But there are some good things you can do. And first of all, here's what I would suggest to answer that. One, are people searching on the internet for that? You can go to Google Trends and look and see if there's enough people searching.
For what you're offering.
For what you're offering, yeah. Two, are there other companies that are offering it? Three, have people written a book about it in Amazon? Four, have you done a survey of people who are potential customers and ask them what their biggest struggle is and if they have problems or challenges? If you can find those things and everything seems positive, they've got books, people are searching, there's enough people searching, and there's other people serving that market already, then you go out and ask people what their problems are. That helps really assess is it viable or not. Because if all those things are green lights, there's a good chance that it's viable.
But what if you're inventing something new that nobody's ever heard of? And you're brilliant, and you just can't help yourself because you're an entrepreneur, and it needs to get out there, and nobody has it.
It's very unusual, in my experience, that actually happens. And two, you need to know that you cannot test viability on a brand new idea like that. It's very, 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 very risky. But if you've done research and you've done enough surveys, there's enough people saying they have a common problem, and you've invented something to solve that problem, at least you can market into that. But I guarantee you it will be much harder and a longer road to get that business going. But it could be more lucrative because you could own it. First to market can win sometimes, but a lot of times first to market costs a lot of money.
Yep.
All right, that helpful?
Next one. Is my business making a profit?
How do you decide if it's making a profit or not?
Well, on the surface, that seems like a really funny question because it's like, you think you would know, but it is actually fairly important to understand if your business is making a profit.
Yeah.
And you would know that by actually understanding your company reports. So are you running accrual base? Are you running cash base? There's a lot in reporting that tells you at the end of the day, not if you just have money in the bank, because that is not the answer to am I profitable. It's, are you actually making a profit? Are you charging more than what it is that it costs you to make a product or have employees to service that product and pay all your bills? That's really profitability. And you have to be able to read your reports to tell that because things don't always happen in kind of aligned in the right order, and that makes it harder to tell. So you need to understand your financials. You got to understand those reports. You got to look at them month to month and go from there. Otherwise, you're just going with your gut.
If we're being really, really simple, could we say if the amount you're making per product or service is more than what it takes to make it, and all of your expenses to have your company going, including a salary for yourself.
Including paying yourself.
Because this is different for small little businesses. A lot of people go, well, I'm making a profit and then I get paid out of the profit. No, that's not where you want to be. You want to be at a place where you're paying yourself a salary, and then if there's money left over after your salary, then there's profit.
There you go.
There you go.
All right. Last question. Is my business sellable? We just did this podcast with our friend Josh Patrick, and you could find that just this last week.
Yeah. No, is it sellable? This is a tricky one. A lot of people are trying to figure out it. The answer, unfortunately, to most businesses in America is they're actually not sellable. So you want to actually dig in and find out what it makes to be sellable. So Josh Patrick is one person to check out. Our podcast at Half a Bubble Out, you can check out that podcast. And Roland Frazier is amazing at understanding that. And then other people who talk about valuating your company. But if it's sellable, if you go back to, is it making a profit? And then whatever your annual profit is for the year, after you've taken a salary and all expenses are paid, I would suggest possibly it's sellable if the business can run without you. If the business can't run without you, it's really hard to sell.
Yep.
There you go.
Good answer.
Thanks. Thanks for joining us.